morning and a very warm welcome to one and all. Sophos and SMEVenture is pleased to welcome so many of you who have decided to join at this conference. We appreciate the great interest in this event. I'm your host, Yasmin Khan. At a time of growing concern about vulnerability of our information systems, this conference provides an opportunity for leaders in cybersecurity, policymakers, and government officials to come together and coordinate their efforts, creating a more secure future. Conferences such as this are part of a collaborative effort in our mission to deepen our insights into an understanding of innovation and cybersecurity. We hope that you too will benefit from these proceedings and will emerge from this conference with an expanded knowledge on these critical issues that we will be covering over next 60 minutes, with the highlights being a keynote by our guest of honor, IPS Shri Manoj Abraham, followed by an expert presentation by our plenary speaker, Mr. Santhosh Varkey. At the end of the session, we are going to have a quick game where we will have 3 lucky winners. So may the best win, and I request all of you to stay tuned till last. So without further ado, let me introduce Mr. Prasanna Kumar, Cybersecurity Specialist and Director Sophos, South India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, to set the context for the event. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Yasmin. Can you hear me?
Over to you.
Yeah, just to check, I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. A warm welcome to all, and I sincerely thank all of you for joining today's webinar. Cyber threats do not have boundaries, do not have ethics, and always kept us busy fighting. Organized crime market is constantly growing and evolving. In today's webinar, we are going to focus on securing our boundaries and understanding the depth of cybercrime. And today we have invited our keynote speaker who is actually dealing with cybercrime and will share how things are moving forward. At Sophos, we are proud to protect our customers from cybercrime at each level and constantly bringing innovative approach to fight against cybercrime. We have built an ecosystem of solutions which can work as an advanced defense mechanism against threat vectors. My colleague is going to cover more on the solution in his presentation. Sophos is a global brand with $1 billion billings and leader in cybersecurity space for past 35 years. India is one of the major development centers for Sophos, and we proudly can say that our firewall qualify in class 1 category of Make in India initiative. Also, we are proud to announce our cloud data center in India to help Indian government customers to comply with data security compliance requirements and have best of the breed solutions like extended detection response, MTR, and other initiatives which are actually can protect against cybercrime. And without further delay, I actually would like to introduce Mr. Manoj Abraham IPS, who is actually currently Additional Director General of Police, Thiruvananthapuram, and heading the cybersecurity in Kerala State, India. He worked as a Superintendent of Police, Kollam and Kannur districts, followed by a 7-year stint as Commissioner of Police of Cochin and Trivandrum cities and 5 years tenure as IGP Trivandrum range. He also done a lot of work in the areas of community policing, Maitri, Jana Maitri. He also co-authored a book called Global Community Policing, Problems and Prospects, published by Taylor and Francis Publications. In the area of cybercrime, he is the chief architect of CON conference held annually on the theme of public-private partnership for enhancing cybersecurity. He is also the architect of Cyber Dome, a center for private public participation in cyber policing, which also became a model center for cybersecurity in the PPP domain. He has won many national and international awards in the area of cybercrime and cybersecurity, which includes the Interpol honor, be a champion of child protection. For the work done with regard to preventing online crime against children, he also has won government award for e-government award of Government of India recently for the social media activities during COVID. In the area of traffic management, cybercrime, he has introduced various innovative projects. He also has the banking fraud division, cyber research division, Kerala Sports and Kerala Police Welfare Division, the CSN Stadium, the police canteen, and also has been attributed to bringing many innovative changes in these areas of police work. I welcome Mr. Manoj to give us insight of cybercrime which is happening nowadays and help us understand from your perspective. Thank you. Mr. Manoj, over to you.
Thank you, Prasanna. Good morning to all of you, esteemed panelists and all the people attending this webinar. It's indeed a privilege to come and speak at this webinar on a very relevant topic of today, which you all know is cybersecurity. Without much ado, I'll go into the talk as such. We know the topic itself for a law enforcement officer like me. When you talk of cybersecurity moving towards a secure future, it's a very interesting topic itself. Where are we moving today? When we look at the world today, with all the hybrid warfare happening, with all the hacks, every company in the world being hacked, where are we moving today? It's one question. And the security factor, are we secure? What is perfect cybersecurity? These are the questions that I just want to deal with in my talk. Firstly, coming on, as everybody knows, we are in the digital world. We are spending more time in the digital realm than in the physical realm also. Most of the places and most of the services have gone digital, and particularly COVID has come and accelerated the digital transformation of basic human existence itself. And what we are seeing, or we are going to see in the future, is this technological convergence. Not only these technologies are going to evolve rapidly, but they are going to converge also. The artificial intelligence that we talk of, or the robotics, or the blockchain technology, DNA sequencing, every kind of technologies are transforming the whole way that the human being functions or lives in this earth. But they are also evolving and converging also, which is one important factor that we need to look at. Now, in this scenario, the question is there perfect cybersecurity? Is it a concept that we can talk of, or are we moving towards something which is actually secure? Now, many people call it's a myth that we talk of perfect cybersecurity. There is nothing like that. There is a misconception. But that doesn't turn us from the question that whether we should not follow cybersecurity. It's like putting a lock. We in the police, we say that you should lock your houses. Putting a padlock on your house is a security angle. But that doesn't mean that nobody can come and pick the lock. Anybody can come and pick the lock, break the lock, use the thing and totally break it. That doesn't mean that we don't lock our houses. Locking the house is a psychological feeling that we have done something for security. And then it is essential. We need to do that little part that we have in ensuring that our houses are safe. Similar as the picture in cybersecurity also. There may be many threats coming up. There may be no concept like perfect cybersecurity, but then we have to do our bit. It's a concept that we need to really look at. So that's what I want to discuss. We want to I just want to go to a basic start with a very famous statement by Robert Mueller way back in 2012. He was the FBI director when he said that there are basically two kinds of companies in the world today, those that have been hacked and those that will be. It brings us to the very moot question that what is, whether anything is really secure. We can say that no, perfectly you can't say anything is secure because we have seen in the recent past, any major company you take, it has been hacked, including the Pentagon, the Yahoo, the Facebook, you name it, they have been hacked. And we have the recent, the hybrid warfare going on between Russia and Ukraine, where you find that everything has been hacked, everything is possible. So that is the world that we are living in. So we need to basically understand what are the cybersecurity trends, the threats that are available, to really look at what we can do on cybersecurity, how we can move forward by securing our digital space. We know that COVID came about, and though it was a health hazard, the biggest hazard apart from the health hazard was the digital hazard as it brought about. So if you look at the crime figures around the globe, it's not a national figure, it's around the world. We have a 300% increase in crimes, all kinds of crimes, whether it's malware crime, whether it's phishing crimes or any other hacking crimes, everything went away. 300% increase in crimes. Naturally, this was possible because most of the people were hooked onto the devices for everything. You have online studies, online conferences, all transactions were online. So naturally, the criminals also used it to a great extent. That's how it has increased to 300%. Now, COVID remains one of the biggest cyber security reasons for any scam as such till date. If you look at Indian figures also, you find a tremendous increase in the last 3 years, and it's going up even more. 2021 was even worse. And in the future, we'll have more cybersecurity incidents happening, more cyber cases being reported. That's one of the natural things, because even our life is getting transformed from the physical world to the digital world. So it's natural that we will have more cases there. Now you look at the Norse map of the live cyber attacks happening. It looks like the war happening, a world war really taking place, where continuously, if you look at the live map, you feel like missiles are flying each time. And that is what is happening now also with the wars in Ukraine. You have a hybrid sort of war happening where countries are attacking, where hacking groups from all around the world, anonymous, hacking into various systems in Russia. And this is what the future is. The traditional war is going to be preceded by a cyber war. And that is what we are going to see. It's not going to be the traditional war, it's going to be a hybrid war that is coming up. So that is the picture now. And if you look at the trends that are coming up, in 2021, if you look at the ransomware attacks that happened, every 11 seconds you had it. And it's expected that in 2022, it'll be even more. With the wars, it's actually coming up to 7 seconds. Every 7 seconds, you have a ransomware attack that's happening in the world, which brings us to the threat level that we are facing currently. And the top trends, it's not only the IT outsourcing services that are coming up, a lot of vulnerable industries like the health sector being attacked last year, this year also it's coming up. A lot of defense industries also being attacked now, government industries, the government services, etc. coming up. And it is spreading to the mobile device also. Earlier it was in the computer systems. Now you have ransomware targeting mobile phones, the individual phones also. And the biggest thing that is happening is it is coming in as a service. The ransomware as a service is being given. You have hackers available in the darknet, which you can hire, and they will put up the ransomware attack for a percentage of the fees that you get. So the trends are changing in the field of ransomware attacks also. Now, the IoT attacks, the world is getting closer. The devices are all getting connected in our homes, in our offices. Most of the devices are connected. Our mobile phone has now become the chief connector to everything. Our device is connected to everything. Our television is connected. Our refrigerators are connected. Everything is connected to Alexa. So what the connected devices, the Internet of Things does is it really opens up a lot of possibilities for IoT attacks to happen. And that is one trend which needs to be really looked into, because the weakest device may be our smart television or the smart fridge that we have. And the hacker will find it very easy to get through that device, and he can get into your office system also. So the IoT attacks are another threat that is there in the present times. Then most of the data that is stored now, government or otherwise, even in the private sector, it's in the cloud. And now hackers have targeted clouds like never before. We have many cloud attacks in 2020, 2021, where even pictures of various celebrities, various personal pictures of various celebrities are also put on the darknet for sale. So the clouds are also not a safe medium. There are attacks coming up in the cloud. So we need to really look at cloud security also to a big extent. And then we have the Bitcoins, the currency that is very popular now. It's the prices are increasing. It is touted to be safe, but we have many cases of many cryptocurrency, the exchanges being hacked, the individuals being hacked. When you maintain that private public key also, so these attacks are also become common. The need to really look at Bitcoin security is also another aspect that we need to look at. Then, of course, this is the common insider attack. Most of the organizations, even in the government and outside, we think of attacks coming from outside. But many of the attacks, we tend to forget that insider attacks are also quite possible. And many of the attacks have been, in the banks particularly, have been really attributed to the insider, the malicious insider that's available inside the organization, who puts up who gives the necessary window or the doorway for the hacker to come in and attack your system. So that also needs to be really looked into, particularly when we are looking at national security in a big way. We know banks are a traditional entity that is always attacked, because traditionally, of course, the money is there, and money is always a motivation for all the hackers, for all the criminals around there, whether it's nation states or otherwise. So many of the banks have been attacked around the world. The famous case of Bangladesh, Ukrainian bank keys, Ecuadorian, etc. You know, many of the bank keys as such. Another misconception that we have, the small organizations, the small businesses, that they are never attacked. It's only the bigger organizations, because that is where all the money is. So it is only the bigger organizations that are attacked. That's actually a myth. If you look at the figures, 43% of the cyber attacks actually target small businesses, because that is where the security systems are not very robust. They don't follow all those protocols. And so they are more targeted. And once you have a good cyber attack on a small business, they actually crash and they don't come up also. So that small industries also, they also need to understand that cybersecurity is very crucial for them, and they're also prone to attacks. And then we need to understand the human element also very important when we talk of the attacks, and we attack the reason how the person got it. 93% of the hacks that happened, or the breaches that happened, have come through the social engineering attacks. That is, the individual has been targeted. It's not the system that has failed. The systems were all in place, the hardware is in place, the software is in place. It's a human element that gave way, and the breach happened. So training the human element, making him aware, securing him, training him continuously is a requirement that we need to really look at. So just looking at the cybersecurity trends, as I mentioned earlier, ransomware attacks are going to go up. The remote work challenges, which is continuing due to the COVID lockdowns. Now, of course, it's easing up, but still the bring your own device, the BOID challenges, the cloud security challenges, the data protection, the encryptions. These are all things that we need to really look at in 2022, because the cyber threats are getting more complicated, more technical as such. Now, another trend that we have is the attackers that are doing it. Generally, we earlier used to have rookies coming up, the people who are broken out of law, they were not trained enough. But now you have attackers that are the smartest available, because you have many nation states also coming into this field. So the smartest of the hackers, the smartest of the technical guys are available, who can hack into any of these systems. So we need to understand that the best in the industry is there available there to hack into your system. So your system needs to be that secure to really look into that. And another aspect is the diversity of the cyber attacks. As a law enforcement in the physical world, we know that the modus of the crime doesn't change very fast. But in the digital world, every month, every 2 months, you have a new technology coming up. You have the device going obsolete in no time. And the diversity of cyber attacks are so many that you can't really keep track of what is happening where. New kinds of modus is coming up now and then. Another new trend that is coming up, of course, data theft is one of the major things. Even now, data breaches and data being sold for money on the darknet is one of the major crimes even now. But you have a new trend where data manipulation also has come up, where companies vying with each other, nation states trying to manipulate each other, are going in for data manipulation also. So the credibility of the organization or that nation, or the publicity against that nation is on the adverse factor. And that's a new trend that is coming up, which needs to be handled also, because a bad press or a bad publicity can really hit an organization which is engaged in public service. And of course, the darknet continues to remain one of the major problem areas for the law enforcement, for the organizations also, because that is where all the banned substances are sold. And it's increasing in size. We are seeing over the years, the darknet, the size of the market increasing, and it remains clearly off the law enforcement due to its various encryptions and other inbuilt features of non-detection. Now, what I wanted to explain through all these slides on the initial talk is basically cybersecurity has become a very complex issue. It's not a simple issue as we believe it. It's a complex issue that needs understanding, that we need to study threat analysis. We need to really have a look at cybersecurity. It cannot be ignored. Many of the organizations in the past 4 or 5 years, we have not really understood how important it is. But now it has become one of the most crucial elements in our digital infrastructure, in our digital system itself. And it's a very complex issue. We need to understand that every cog in the wheel, or every person, every stakeholder in that cybersecurity domain is important, because for a hacker, the weak element is where he needs to get in. So it's a totally integrated part of security. Cybersecurity is an all-embracing thing, where every stakeholder, hardware, software, everything is important, because the hacker only needs a small window to get in. So it's an all-embracing thing where we need to really understand that our hardware, software, the human element, the training, everything needs to be taken care of. And that is so very important for cybersecurity. It's not only our security, because we go on and we are a social animal. So we go to our departmental stores, we use the public Wi-Fi, we go to the airports, we use the ATM. So the society also needs to be secure. Wherever we are going, whatever we are accessing, the ATMs or the department stores where we go and make our e-payment, or the Wi-Fi that we are accessing at our airports, everything needs to be secured. It's not only the individual or the organization that needs to be secure. Because our life is now totally digital. So all the resources that are there, where human being is interacting or transacting or doing business, we need to secure that system also. So that is also very important. And then at the national perspective, it's not only government that needs to really look at cybersecurity, because government resources are important, but it's also the private sector, even the small enterprise, as I explained earlier. Everybody needs to be secure. The cybersecurity is equally important both for the public and the private sector, and for big and small organizations, and for the individual also. So for everybody, cybersecurity is very important. We need to understand that. And as was being mentioned, we are in a digital world. Digital world is a world without borders. It's not the traditional country boundaries that really limit it. In the digital world, there are no boundaries. It's a totally single world out there. When anybody sitting in any country can hack into our banking system right now in India. So what we require is a new world order looking at cybersecurity. We don't have it. We are still governed by our country-wise rules, which make it all the more difficult to track down or detect a cyber attack and bring him before the law. So the need is to bring forth a world order on cybersecurity, which can actually look into these aspects, because now the world is a single fora. And so a system needs to come out. Of course, there are talks of building such a system, and I'm sure that with all these problems happening, very soon we'll have a body looking into cyber crimes on a global perspective, which is so very important at the present times. Now, as I mentioned, the human element, the CISOs in the organization are very important. Many of these are generally ignored, and even in the government sector, I find that you don't have experts in cybersecurity in all organizations, particularly in smaller organizations. But now the CISOs, the information security expert, is essential for every organization, because everybody is digital. You have services being given out digitally. And so it's very important that you have an expert inside your organization to guide you, to look into your systems, because it's a constant activity. You need to keep on updating your skills, updating your hardware, software. So the role of the CISO, a trained CISO, is very essential for all organizations, including government, public, private, everybody, every sector as such. And then it's not only making a CISO important, every person in the organization is important, because the weakest link is the human element, as I told you. And cybersecurity awareness is very crucial for every person working in any organization, and for the individual also. The individual who does his credit card, debit card, or his internet banking, everybody needs to be aware of the latest do's and don'ts. They need to be aware of the latest threats, because if you are not aware of that, you can become a victim, because smart guys are available there who can fool you through all kinds of phishing, smishing techniques that are available. And so the security awareness is one very important thing. Of course, in the country, we have taken it up on a major scale under our Digital India initiative, where cybersecurity awareness is one of the major criteria that is available. So cybersecurity awareness is another crucial aspect that we need to look at. As I mentioned, cloud security is a concept that has to be very important. We need to look at cloud security in a bigger manner. The cloud needs to be secure because a lot of our data is going into the cloud, even the government clouds, etc. And so cloud security is a very crucial aspect. And with all these insecurities available, a backup management plan is very crucial. We have ransomware attacks, as I mentioned earlier, we have malwares coming in from different sources. So a backup management plan is very essential to ensure that we wake up, we come back. Even if we are hacked or our systems are down, if we have a proper backup management plan, we can easily come back and reboot back and start off working from where we are working. So a backup management plan is very essential for all the organization, including individuals, even students. It's an essential management plan that we have. And we need to understand that it's a constant cat and mouse game. We can't rest on our laurels saying that we have put in the best system now. My system is robust, because what is system is updated now won't be a robust system after 2 months, 3 months. So it's a constant cat and mouse game. We need to really look at the threats and update our system also in the similar manner. And cyber expenditure, the expenditure that we spend on the cyber security is also a very crucial aspect. This was, as I mentioned, it was an ignored aspect, but now we need to really look at, it's a very important aspect, and we need to really put a decent chunk of expenditure into cybersecurity, because that's very crucial, which can really hurt the organization very badly if we don't invest well in that. So a strong cyber security culture, not only for the organization, for the nation, is very crucial. We need to talk of cybersecurity, the health of cybersecurity, though, as I mentioned, perfect cybersecurity is not possible, but still we need to really go on the task. And that is where we really need to understand this famous saying by another former SBI director, where security is always too much until the day it's found that it's not enough. So we really need to concentrate on securing our digital resources. India, with the Digital India plan, has gone in for major steps in securing Digital India. And as I mentioned, we need to balance ourselves. We understand that the cybersecurity is a task impossible, but that we should not rest on the concept that we can't do anything. We need to really go in. We need to understand the threats. We need to start taking those steps, do's and don'ts, follow those principles, and ensure that digital resources, the digital infrastructure is safe. And that is not only at the individual level, at the organization, at the government level also. So I think it's a constant activity. We need to keep on working. And I'm sure this conferences, this webinars like this will help us in thinking more about cybersecurity. And I'm sure it's going to be a big success. Thank you once again for this opportunity. And I'm grateful for this moment. Thank you, Lara.
So thank you firstly. Thank you so much for such an engaging session. We are thankful of you for sharing your time and knowledge, sir. So now it's time to introduce expert speaker of our session, Mr. Santhosh Varkey, Zonal Manager, Sales Engineering, Sophos, South India, Sri Lanka, Maldives. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, before we start, I'll just request all the attendees, if you have any questions during the session, during the presentation, please type them in the chat box. We are going to have a Q&A session during the presentation. So panelists will be answering to your questions. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Manoj, sir, given a wonderful presentation. And for me, it's very easy to explain to which are the audience here. So digital transformation is a journey, right? When you see in the digital transformation, start from like analog to digital and tape devices to CD. And when you see that, that is the traditional shopping. I'm just recapping our earlier experience. Now, after that, there is a small change happen, and it is like slow to fast, CD to Blu-ray. There is no change in the business model. And now last 2-3 years or 4 years of time, simple to smart, Blu-ray to streaming like Amazon Prime or Netflix. But the important thing is the business model is changed and technology is changed. when you see in the cybersecurity vertical, what are the things like cloud, everything, right? When you see it's not only on the corporate, now in the government, customers also will be like cloud is everything, but there is another condition. It should be data center in India. Then you can see software as a service. Then data is a new gold. Then analysis is a new engine, and IoT. All these things needed a strong cybersecurity. Like, and next another few more years, Manoj sir is talk about very right fact till today he told, and I'm just showing little more another next 5 years what will be. One is extended detection and response. Then another solution which coming in already started, secure access service edge called as SASEs. Then secure DevOps security operation also will be part of that. Then manage security services. That's also very, very important in another 5 years. So further, nothing else. My name is Santhosh Varkey. I am SE manager for South India and Sri Lanka and Maldives. And I am talking about Sophos solution, how provides you to prevent another 5 to 10 years. So just give a background. Prasanna also spoke about Sophos. Sophos is started 1985. Right now we have 37 years old company and 4,000 plus employees in our organization. In 4,000, when you look on that, we have, I hope it is around 50% employees are work in India, in Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Mumbai. And another key beauty in Sophos is across all metro cities, we have sales and pre-sales or technical pre-sales team is available in all the metro cities, including Kerala, Karnataka, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, Chennai, all this region, then Sri Lanka and Maldives. Plus, these are the area where I am taking care. Another key important thing is Sophos done a very beautiful innovation in last 37 years. There is signature-based malware detection comes with that application signature mechanism which Sophos is introduced. And recently we introduced a lot many things. I just take you through on that. Evolving of cybersecurity technology. On this, I just want to show you fundamentals and defense and prevention. Where earlier slide you seen that backup, patching, and password. Like when you see where I spoke to multiple customers, like or discussing with them, we seen that lot many operating systems are not patched. And if you see your own mobile, how many you are upgrading your firmwares on your mobile? You are not doing, right? Another thing is password. Lot many, especially on government customer side, very simple password people are using. You need to use a strong password. Another is always take a backup, right? Another in the network segment, then firewalls, WAF is web application firewall, then endpoint protection, UTM. In this vertical, we are right now, it is there. There is no doubt. Lot many companies are already, or organization already is there in this. Another two area is manage and anticipate, right? When you see on manage and another area like 24/7 SOC solutions, then SIM solutions, vulnerability management, incident response, the new technologies like threat detection response, like you don't have experts, so you need expert help. So that type of solution, which where the customers are looking here. So when you see the most of the organization here and another which coming years people are adopting this solution, and this all the area is regulatory of compliance, right? And we want to fill up the gap. For filling this gap, Sophos, we build up a solution for this. That is called as Sophos Adaptive Cybersecurity. There is a very beautiful area where we have built up this cybersecurity, adaptive security last 6 years back to the customers. Here is software, hardware, and services, where in the software side, we have an endpoint, we have a software firewall available, we have an email solution, we have like anti-spam, APT, ATP, all the solution available there. Then mobile security, then Wi-Fi security, then encryption, zero trust network. Then in the hardware side, we have a firewall, secure switches, we have a red device, remote Ethernet device, access point, and we provide, or Sophos provides services like MTR, Managed Threat Response Solution. Service we provide rapid response. Rapid response is any incident happen after that. It never matter you are using a Sophos or any other product. You can take 45 days rapid response, and we do the investigation and give information what we want to do next. Then process service. Then threat intelligence like Sophos AI, Sophos Lab, and security operation. It's all this connected to a central point is called as a Sophos Central, where you can able to do XDR for data lake between different product line item like firewall, endpoint, and all other things. Another key beauty is this month, 17th, March 17th, Sophos is announcing data center in India. So all the government customer can able to buy. This is the main area where we are working last 2 years building up a data center in India. It is not easy for a security vendor. So we started that activity also. Next, I want to talk about the GEM portal. Right? In Prasanna, in the earlier, he told Sophos Firewall XGS is available in class 1 supplier, make in India product. In the GEM portal, you can go and buy Sophos XGS Firewall through the GEM portal. I just give a little inside of the XGS Firewall. Recently, we released the XGS Firewall. We are into market for a long time in India. And we have a XG model earlier. Now, recently in April 2021, we are released XGS model. Why we released is the main advantage is dual processor architecture. There is a x86 hardware processor plus extreme flow processor. There are 2 physical processors with multi-core mechanism where it accelerates the more performance. Then in the physical change, another thing is many customers are looking for PoE port in the firewall. So we are added PoE on the hardware. Then another is on the enterprise class network. Customers are looking for 40 gig above connectivity. All we added because of the new processor, the performance compared to earlier hardware, the double performance what we are offering, and TLS inspection is 5x is the main achievement on the hardware side what we done it. When you look on the software side, you can see Sophos Lab Intellects. That means static file analysis and dynamic file analysis, like threat intelligence and sandboxing, both together fully integrated to this hardware, where antivirus, IPS, web filtering, application filter, full driven by AI. That means it will be a faster scanning and delivery and without any signature based pattern. It will be a faster. And because of the extreme flow processor, we introduced new SD-WAN functionality. You can able to achieve full SD-WAN and cloud application acceleration and all other. And who are our existing customer in this conference, they can able to upgrade version 19. It's on EAP and you can experience that. Only part is the hardware performance you will not get. All the software performance you will get it on the existing hardware. Next, Manoj sir is talk about the ransomware attack. Like I can say you every last 1 year, I can say in the COVID time work from home situation, every Sunday morning I am walking up with a customer called like ransomware attack. When you see here, this is the global report. I am talking about the South thing. That is 200 servers got ransomware hit. There is 100 systems are hit by ransomware. And individual users also calling like after ransomware attack, how we will get that data back. Like globally, it says 51% ransomware attack happened on comparing to last year to this year. 73% they are into success rate. 26% paying the ransom and getting the money back. It is like there are globally 5 organizations. If you take one organization, will take the cybersecurity insurance. And there also there is a trick. Like when we started COVID in India, we have a insurance, medical insurance. Like most of you have the medical insurance. That time, when you have an infection on COVID, if you go to the hospital, they will say your policy will not cover in COVID cases. It will not cover in your insurance policy. Same way in here also. You want to look on that. Very few insurance agencies are providing only on the ransomware recovery data part insurance. That you want to check. Or based on that, only 26%. Average people are paying on 1.4 million to that. When you see on below the graph 2019, 2021, 2020 different graph, the growing on the ransomware hit on very high. Another key information I want to give you as an individual, not an organization based. Organization also good. Lot many ransomware attack. What we seen is somewhere around 30%, I can say, because of the RDP protocol. The Windows machine you are installing, and sometimes you are not disabling the RDP. When you on the machine, automatically, if you have an internet, there is the website shodan.io. If you go to that website, automatically your public IP will be listed. And the bad guys are connected there and they run the script very widely. So you may get hit. So careful, RDP should be disabled on the system. And you should create a strong password. Otherwise, it's very easy to break your password by using so many websites available. It's very easy to take a password. Further this, Sophos gives a solution to prevent the ransomware attack. We built up a solution called a Sophos Intercept X with XDR, with MTR prevention mechanism. There are lot many things I added. The key element I will tell you, it's a pure next-gen product which having a deep machine learning. In the AI, there is a machine learning mechanism. The advanced one is deep machine learning. It's a fully signature-based, and it will be faster the detection. And another advantage, like normally in the IPS engine, normally used in the gateway level, in the hardware gateway level, we introduced the IPS on the endpoint level. That's also another key feature what we are added here. Then server lockdown feature. Then another element what we are introduced is there is an anti-ransomware protection is WipeGuard and CryptoGuard. There are two engine what we are introduced. CryptoGuard will prevent your document files and all other files, and master boot recorder is WipeGuard. Then there is another technology what we build up is auto or manual isolation part. Whenever the system is compromised, automatically it will isolate. So what will happen? It will not spread to others. So you can able to concentrate that machine, and to investigate, you have a solution called as XDR, right? Then another key feature what we are introducing is AMSI, anti-malware scanning engine. Then there is another dynamic shell code feature and credential threat protection. Dynamic shell code helps you a PowerShell scripts the bad guys are running in your system, it will be prevented. These are the key elements what we added in Intercept X Advanced. And in the XDR is nothing else. Extended EDR, I hope everybody knows that last 3-4 years, people are talking about endpoint detection and response. That covers only two vertical. One is endpoint and one is servers, not other. XDR is extended. That means you can do an investigation on firewall, email, mobile, and Office 365, lot many other things. That's also part of this solution. And here, XDR, you need to operate. If you need help, you don't have an expert to operate that one. We have a SOC solution from Sophos is MTR. You can buy that, just enter the license, automatically SOC for 24/7 started, and we help you to any type of advanced level to mitigate. And in the GEM portal, other offerings like Sophos endpoint protection 6A, Sophos endpoint protection with XDR, Sophos endpoint protection with 6A, MTR, and XDR, then Sophos email security, then access point. This is not a make in India, but you can able to buy from there. And another key advantage is this solution data center in India, because in our hardware side, the development major part is in India. Here and there globally it is multiple areas. So that's the one reason we are into GEM portal. Anybody needed, you can able to buy from GEM portal. Next, we can see overall the network security layers, like inside world. there is a router for connecting the internet, then you require a firewall, then one edge, then switches needed, then switch will be connected to the firewall connects to the router, then you have a LAN edge, the access points will be connected to the switch, then you have a users, internal users or outside users connected to the switches back. Then you have a cloud platform, you have a cloud applications, then remote users through VPN or any type of other solution. How we offer the solution, the firewall is Sophos XGS firewall, then we have access point, Sophos AP available, then we have a Sophos switches, and all the endpoint, laptop, Windows, Linux, Mac, or the mobile devices like iOS or Android, we have a mobile solution. Then when you see on the remote users, Zero Trust Network or SSL or IPsec VPN solution, then the cloud, like we support AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, we have a cloud optics. All together, we have a solution called a synchronized security. Synchronized security is like in the global, there are so many security companies are available, but Sophos what we are offering, firewall and endpoint talk each other. One place it's missed, cache in another place. And the auto isolation on the endpoints, if any lateral movement or anything, it will isolate the system. That's the synchronized security. Then switch with endpoint. All the product connects via a connector to interconnect to that and controlled by Sophos Central. That's the solution from Sophos. Next, the leading awards and area we are recognized in the Gartner and NXG Firewall and InterceptX. We are into last 12 years. We are leader in the endpoint side in the Gartner, and we are rated now. NSS Lab is not no more, but when the NSS Lab is there, we are into NSS Lab recommended product. These are from my side. I want to invite Chitra here and do the activity. And if you have any question and answer, I can able to, anybody have any question and answer, I can able to answer that part. Do you have any question?
Thank you, Santhosh. Sai, is there any questions which you want Santhosh to answer? Is there anything on the Q&A or the chat panel which you
the
would
question,
like to address?
Sailesh is asked one question. There is many brands which are offering IoT security for companies. Do you provide affordable solution for the smart and connected home to protect smart TV, CCTVs and smart sensors? Yes, very much, right? I told you, we offers all. Now, in my home also, like there is a firewall needed. There is the smartphone needed a mobile client solution. We have already. You can go to the Play Store or Apple Store. You can search for Sophos mobile solution that is absolutely free for the users, and only the corporate network they need to buy the license. You can buy and install that one, and software firewall is available. You can able to build in that, and you can prevent, like behind the firewall you keep the smart TV and CCTV, then it will be secure very much. You can able to do that. And we are coming up with the SASE solution very soon, and it will be more advanced. You can able to do.
Okay, thank you, Santhosh. And I see one more there in the chat. Do you have any services for system analysis?
System analysis, like we normally do the threat MTR solution offers the any type of advanced level attack happens, that entirely report, and another report in the endpoint or firewall, you can generate your own report. There is a XDR, there is a query you can able to do on that, and you can able to find it.
Yeah, and to add up what Santhosh has said, we have services like MTR and rapid response services. So our rapid response services can do that analysis of your system on an additional cost. So yes, we do analysis of your devices. We give the posture managements of your devices, and we can even do an complete auditing of your security postures and give you a right posture, what has to be implemented and Great. So that is it. And remaining all questions I have already answered it, Santhosh. Thanks a lot.
Chitra, over to you. Thank you very much. Thanks for attending this session. Over to you, Chitra.
I'm so sorry, Chitra. I have one question from Manoj sir, if Manoj sir is available.
Yeah. I think Manoj sir is online. SME team, can you please reach out to Manoj sir and see if he can answer this question?
No problem.
Okay.
Manoj sir has some assignment, so I think he's not available right now.
No problem. We will give that answer in the
towards the end, if at all, if he's available, then we will get him answered. So meantime, I'll start with the lucky draw. Thank you so much, Santhosh. Thank you so much for sharing or briefing about Sophos solution offerings and how Sophos can be a good fit in an organization. Thank you so much. So today we are going to have a lucky winner, 3 lucky winners, and they are going to get the smartwatches. This is through a spin-off wheel where we are going to spin the wheel, and if you're present, if you're there in the session, please write it in the chat box, say hi or raise your hand. This will make it easy, and we had so many registrations, so we have put all the names who had registered for this event. So this will make us know that you are present, and you'll not be able to lose the opportunity of winning an amazing smartwatch. So
around 9 people already raised the hand, not now after spinning the
wheel. You have to raise your hand only if you're present, if your name appears on the screen. Okay, here is a spin for the first lucky winner. And the winner is Vishal Kumar. Vishal, if you're present, just... Oh, Vishal is present. Congratulations, Vishal. Let's go for the next spin. So we have only 2 opportunities left. If you're present, please mark your presence. Otherwise, you're going to lose the opportunity. A. Suresh. Suresh, you're there?
No, I think so. Suresh is not joining.
Suresh is there.
There, huh?
Yeah. Suresh is there. Congratulations, Suresh. And this is the last opportunity. Let's see who will be the last winner for today. And the winner is Suchit Maharana. Suchit, hope you... Oh, he's also present.
He's also there, yes.
Oh, congratulations, all the lucky winners. It's right to the point. Everybody is present and we don't need to spin once again. All the 3 lucky winners, congratulations. And thank you so much for attending the event. If you have any more questions or any information you require, I've posted the contact details of Prasanna and Tapan. You can get in touch with them. And thank you so much. Over to Yasmin for the closing note.
Okay, thank you so much. Firstly, congratulations to all the 3 lucky winners. And SMEVenture team will get back to you. All the lucky winners, we have your contact details, so we'll get back to you. So thank you for being here today. I would like to offer special thanks and gratitude to our guest of honor, Shri Manoj Abraham sir, for taking time out from his busy schedule and embracing the session with a powerful keynote. Special thanks to Mr. Prasanna Kumar and Mr. Santhosh Varkey for proving some valuable insights and precious analysis. Thank you to Sophos team for providing a platform for one and all. As individuals and as a nation, we have become dependent on a vast and expanding digital infrastructure. That in turn has made us vulnerable to cyber criminals that target infrastructure. The danger cannot be overstated, and enhancing cybersecurity is a national imperative. One shared by the private sector whose networks, data systems, and products are at risk, as well as the government agencies charged with securing our critical national infrastructure and guarding our citizens against criminal activity. For this, we need a synchronized approach with organizations and government agencies working in tandem to building a better future. And this is aptly reflected by Sophos synchronized security. It brings interconnectivity to security, enabling solutions to work together as a system. So once again, thank you for joining us. Also, each participants are requested to fill up the feedback form, which is available in the chat box. There's a link. Then you will receive the gift as a token of appreciation for participating in the event after the session. So this is your host, Yasmin Khan, signing out for the day. Have a good day. Thank you.